that
Well,
consciousness is the collapse of the wave function. And that's the context here, that if you want to be conscious in the array, we're collapsing that wave function at the node of the array.
so one more quick little thing. I want to show it in as it's moving. So I have this video that we made in virtual reality
Oh, thank you. I love
that
these.
shows
So
there's collapse. Those are the waves collapsing down the nodal points
the
that you're talking
implosion.
about. Albeit this nodal structure is not to scale of your star mother. It's the shape, but not the right distances. But that's really what the wave collapse looks like, going down a whirlpool, following those nodal points. There you go. You have the actual one. And this
Vortex.
is just, I just slapped this together in virtual reality, and so we can make it and look at it.
It's gorgeous.
Dan, tell the story. I'm gonna tell the story to everybody watching is that
Oh,
you
yeah.
and I had done shows and talked about this, and you showed me these physics so much that I got you a VR headset and then got you into virtual reality and then built this, which is a star mother or hydrogen molecule, and brought you in there in person and said, Dan, now point and show me where charge collapse happens.
Yeah,
Where does it happen? What's going on? Because I ran it through my mind so much. I said, now, where is the charge?
that's right.
And there's the points. And so charge electrons follow that route, and only the ones that are collapsing by increments of the golden mean can form this perfect whirlpool. Like we already know about whirlpools, we know about hurricanes, the black holes are sucking up matter from the galaxy, and we have the same shape
And how the
over and over
vortex
again.
makes gravity. Yes.
And this is it, and your pine cone. But my this demonstration is only on this plane, but it's really coming in at all ways from all different waves from different
That's
sources of charge, and it's happening
such
in the 3D
wonderful work.
environment in real time. And so it explains kind of what we're looking at, what we're talking about here.
I'm
Your
so grateful
pictures
you
do
took.
it a lot of justice, but they're not in a three-dimensional concept. So I think a lot of people just don't get it. But
Yep,
it's a whirlpool that goes all the way to the Planck. And then
exactly.
these transverse waves, because they can only fit through an aperture at the Planck
Exactly.
distance, they get squirted into a longitudinal wave.
Exactly. That's right. And then they can go superluminal and they can embed in the array. That's exactly what we're saying. It's so fabulous that Tony built that in 3D. I am eternally grateful to you, Tony. That was
I never understood it. You can understand when you're talking and showing us these things, it's obviously it has merit, right? So you show us things that have merit. Well, everything you're saying has merit, but I never could understand it until I could see it in a 3D
that's so
situation.
beautiful.
PEMF pyramids and capstones that are really therapeutic. I have a few of his devices in my house. And he kind of taught me how some of that stuff works. And then I bounced it off both Dan Willis, who has worked with Marcel Vogel on the Vogel crystals, and Dan Winter, who has pioneered charge collapse, phase conjugate charge collapse, phase conjugate pump wave charge collapse. And I sent Dan Winter a VR headset and I built a hydrogen molecule inside a three-dimensional in a VR. And I said, Dan, because I couldn't understand what he was saying. And I said, Dan, I've got him. I sent a VR headset to him in France and taught him how to use it over the phone. And then we got in there and I said, I had a hydrogen molecule, his star mother molecule that I rebuilt. And it took me weeks to do this. And I finally got him in there. I said, Dan, now show me what charge collapse is. Show me what the hell you're talking about. And he explained it. And all of a sudden I went, oh my God, he's right. That's how gravity works. That's how time works. That's how charge, everything it's basically the rules of how we interact with the universe around us, with molecules. So we're made out of charge. We're not made out of molecules. The molecules are made out of photons, which are made out of charge. We're just a positive and negative. That's all we are, is electrical charge, all of us. Everything around you is 100% the same material. And the way that charge behaves is his phase conjugate pump wave map. And once he showed me that, I really understood how the audio would work, how electrical things work, and I looked at the obelisks, and he helped me out do some of the math on the wavelengths. He said, Tony, you're onto something with this. I sent him a copy of my book, and I took his science that he taught me along with Dan Willis and others, and I made my own obelisk.